Greetings, everyone. This is Collectibles Euphoria with a review of Peter Pan and Captain Hook doll set from the Disney Fairy Tale Designer Collection with a global limited edition size of 6,000. This set was the second set release in line with Disney's Heroes and Villains series from the Disney Fairy Tale Designer Collection line. This doll set was inspired by the 1953 Disney's classic animated fantasy adventure film, Peter Pan. Reimagined in their legendary heroes and villains concept, this set captures its timeless struggle between good and evil and conveys its rich, evocative, and dramatic concept and will definitely be a treasured keepsake for collectors and Disney fans alike. Stay tuned! Packaging follows the standard slipcover for the Disney Fairy Tale Designer Collection with its overall design having an ombre of yellow and green, with its filigree patterns artistically designed all throughout the cover, together with its fascinating artwork in vignette style. The upper section bears the logo of the Disney Fairy Tale Designer Collection and is framed by gold filigree patterns with metallic gold borders, and filigree design continued on the entire borders, framing each sides of the cover. It has the glossy printed images of Captain Hook and Peter Pan with Tinker Bell, posed in adventure-ready style take flight. Each side of the front cover has their names on the upper section and also indicates that this is a Disney Store exclusive. One side of the cover has a glossy blown-up image of Peter Pan ready for action and Tinker Bell, while the other side has Captain Hook ready to strike. Staying true to Disney's tradition, the back shows the synopsis of the dolls, as well as some description and magnified images of some details of Peter Pan and Captain Hook's outfit. This set retailed at $129.95 US and $139.95 Canadian dollars. This doll set, including the keepsake case, stands at about 15 inches in height. Captain Hook stands at 12.5 inches, while Peter Pan is smaller at 9.5 inches tall, with of course Tinker Bell being the smallest at roughly 1.5 inches in height. Slipping up the dust cover reveals the dolls of Captain Hook, Peter Pan, and Tinker Bell encased in a clear polystyrene cover of the keepsake display case protecting the dolls and figure. At the base, Peter Pan and Captain Hook's name are written in a golden plate. The bottom of the display case also has golden metallic intricate engraved filigree patterns surrounding it, which is standard in all sets of Disney Fairy Tale Designer Collection. The back shows the same design found in the front cover of the slipcover, and right below it is the location of the Certificate of Authenticity, and my copy is 3,842 out of 6,000 released worldwide. Starting off with a boy who wouldn't grow up, Peter Pan's likeness was perfectly captured, making a great representation of his animation counterpart. Peter Pan's hair is well sculpted with fine details, though his hair color was not orange-brown but light auburn in shade and was given a pearlescent final touch. His green cap is molded with sculpted details resembling the veins of a leaf, and the brownish-red feather adorning the cap is also molded with accurate sculpted details seen in the film. I wish Disney had made the cap from fabric to perfectly match his tunic though. The cap is removable and is attached by tagging barbs on the sides of his head. His facial details are on point, from his high rounded bushy eyebrows and his eyes, which I actually like better since the eyes have more details on it comparing to how he appears in the film, his pointed elf-like ears, his tight-lipped smile with his lips provided with a baby pink color. He wears a forest-inspired short-sleeved green tunic with printed leaf detail and with a phosphoide fabric. He has a stand-up collar with a golden embroidered swirls. His tunic has a V-shaped neckline with embroidered dark green filigree pattern alongside the chest area. He has a fall leather double belt with two golden buckles with different alignments, one placed in the center, while the other buckle is positioned on the left side of his groin area. Since Peter Pan is facing towards Captain Hook, you can clearly see that his tunic is secured using a Velcro closure. The display stand is also visible from the clear clamp to the metal stand, positioning Peter Pan in flight mode. He wears a nylon brown tights. The The shoe color is not movie accurate since he is supposed to have a dirty blonde shoe but was given a dark brown shoes instead, though I understand why it was changed to probably update his overall look. The shoe details are still accurate though, with fold-over top with side slits and visible scuff marks. He was provided with a ruggedly embellished sword, which has good sculpted details, though I would have preferred a dagger instead for film accuracy. One thing I would have liked to see included here is the dagger sheath, which is missing here if he was provided with a dagger. The longsword though has a metal finish blade, and the hilt of the sword includes a gold quillen or crossguard with a dark brown sculpted handle. Now onto the notorious captain of the crew of pirates. Captain James Bartholomew Hook's facial detail and sculpt is top-notch, opting for accurate film detail from his high-rounded thick eyebrows, detailed paintwork of his eyes and eyelids, his large hooked nose, thin black mustache that angles upward sharply, and exaggeratedly large chin. He has a curly black shoulder-length hair that drapes over his shoulders. His hair is hard to touch due to the gel or spray applied to keep his hair in place. He wears a wide-brimmed eggplant violet hat instead of a crimson hat seen in the film, with a huge pearlescent white feather instead of a lavender feather, with lavender highlights tucked in his hat. It has a metallic copper lining surrounding the borders of the brim of his hat. Captain Hook wears a frilly lace white cravat underneath a crimson trench coat made from velveteen fabric. Instead of a gold lining seen in the film, it is replaced with a golden filigree embroidery, which makes the limited edition doll stand out, with a golden motif embroidery continued on the inside of his Napoleon collar and wide lapel. The collar, lapel, as well as the fold-over cuffs are made of fall leather, with the same gold embroidered filigree patterns. The edges of the sleeves have the same frilly white lace trims seen on his cravat. He has a white undershirt with turtleneck collar and Byzantium collar vest with gold studs. He is supposed to have an orange sash over his right shoulder that holds his sword scabbard at his left hip as seen in the film, but that detail is missing in here, and I wish they did not skip this detail since it helps tie up his sword towards his outfit. Instead of a rose pants seen in the film, he was provided with a violet denim pants extending below his knees, and instead of a knee-high socks, he was provided with a light gray leg warmer. He also has black boots with metallic copper buckle decorating each one. The tongues of his boots are enormous, reaching halfway up his shins. He wields a rapier sword, and the hilt of the sword includes a dark brown sculpted handle and pommel, and has a gold cupguard quillen or crossguard with holes that appears like flower petals, and the edges of the quillen has a small line of circular beads. He had a steel hook on his left hand with gold cupguard, with embossed details of silver and golden filigree patterns. Captain Hook is also provided with his own display stand, though he appears like he can stand upright even without the metal stand. Still a good inclusion though, for proper display and for security. Last but not the least is Tinkerbell, which is attached to the clear polystyrene cover by a clear adhesive and tagging barbs to replicate a flight effect. She appears to be on the right scale with Peter Pan, has a pearlescent light green wings, and dons her iconic green strapless dress with a miniskirt and green shoes with white puffs on her toes. She has blonde hair worn in a bun and a baby blue eyes, and her pear-shaped physique was also captured correctly. This Peter Pan and Captain Hook doll set was unfortunately one of the longest recorded sale for a limited edition doll, due to their popularity was not up to par with the princesses on this heroes and villains theme, despite of being one of the most distinguished classical films by Walt Disney. Granted that Peter Pan and Captain Hook were not on the same princess line, which is very much popular recently, I firmly believe that Peter Pan and Captain Hook's doll representation here are best to date and should not be overlooked for being not in the same line with the princess's popularity. Bear in mind that these are male dolls, which of course cannot have all the fancy and elegant details that can be implemented on female outfits, but despite of that, their overall look were still nicely updated to qualify for a Disney designer collection. So, if you are a fan of this classic film, this shouldn't stop you from purchasing it on the secondary market since it is already sold out from the Disney Store online. Despite of some lacking details pointed out earlier, this set is still the best set ever released for their doll franchise, and I highly recommend this set for any Peter Pan fans, doll collectors, and Disney enthusiasts. Remember, all you need is faith, trust, and a little bit of pixie dust. Bye!